Hey guys, welcome back to Blaze Talk, and today we're going to be talking about the announcement of Darren Till versus Dricus Du Plessis. Now this was announced a few days ago, but is being targeted for UFC 282 on December 10th. I just want to give my overall analysis and prediction for the fight, and why I think it is a very good fight for Darren Till's return. That being said, if you look at Dricus Du Plessis' rise in the middleweight division so far, he's on a 5-fight win streak. 4 of them have been finishes. His last fight was Brad Tavares, and it went to a decision. It was a very good performance from Dricus, but I do think he showed a lot of tendencies and perhaps a lot of holes in his game that a striker like Darren Till could definitely exploit. I think the way he just sort of planked forward, just walked forward without any real defense or sort of combination or technique, I think Darren Till is definitely going to take advantage of that. I think a lot of people do give a lot of criticism to Darren Till's striking and his sort of patience in the octagon. He never really lets loose, he never really goes for it. He's just very technical, very patient. He sort of picks his shots, but he does have a lot of power, and I do think Darren Till's key to victory in this fight is to definitely piece Dricus up, point him, just sort of never stop throwing, just sort of keep him on the back foot, because I do think Brad Tavares showed it in his fight with Dricus, that when Dricus is under pressure he does get tired, he does get sloppy, and I do think Darren, as I say, could definitely take advantage of that. And if you look at Darren as an opponent for Dricus, I think Dricus has definitely got the potential to overwhelm Darren, land some heavy shots. Darren does have a good chin. He has taken some big shots in middleweight. Kelvin, not too many shots were landed, but he's able to land some good strikes on Darren that would have potentially rocked any other opponent. Robert Whittaker also knocked Darren down in their fight, but Darren didn't give in. He continued to look fairly impressive throughout the fight. But yeah, I think this will definitely be a stand-up fight unless Darren is looking to sort of implement some wrestling. There's another hole in Darren's game, is that he hasn't really got any wrestling or grappling or jiu-jitsu. He has got good sort of clinch control. I think he's definitely strong in the middleweight division. I think strength-wise he can compete in the middleweight division. But yeah, I think Darren Till's key to victory against Dricus, if he can just sort of formulate the same game plan he did against Kelvin to sort of neutralise a high pace, sort of heavy striker, keep him up against the fence, keep him tired, sort of keep him frustrated, I think that would definitely be the key to victory for Darren. But yeah, great fight stylistically. I think it's a tough fight for both men. A lot of people are saying that Dricus is just going to run through Darren. I don't think it'll be the case. Darren's been working very hard with Khamzat, so it'll be interesting to see how all that work with Khamzat will pay off. Darren's been very supportive and close to Khamzat in his corner. I think he's cornered all of his fights since the Gilbert Burns fight, so he's been very sort of vocal with Khamzat and just sort of promoting him and helping Khamzat get better, and Khamzat doing the same for Darren. So I think definitely a great return fight for Darren. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't overly keen on seeing Darren face the potential top 5. I don't think he necessarily deserves it. If you look at his his last 5 fights, he's won 4 in his last 5, so he definitely needs more of a tune-up fight. Even looking at his last 2 opponents at middleweight, he fought Robert Whittaker, who's just had an incredible win over Marvin Vettori, my bad. And Robert Whittaker is one of the best middleweights in the division. He's dominant, he's an incredible striker, a great grappler. And then if you look at Derek Brunson, a great wrestler. So he's only faced top tier competition in the middleweight division so far, and also got an amazing split decision victory over Kelvin Gastelum, which was very impressive for Darren. But I think, as I say, he needs a bit of a tune-up fight. He needs to get his feet wet again, get his confidence back, get a win streak going. I believe a win over Dricus Du Plessis definitely puts him back in the mix for another top contender. If he can run through Dricus, get a knockout or a finish or a dominant decision, I think it definitely sets him up with a fight potentially, for Jared Cannonier or Sean Strickland, even a guy like Alex Pereira, if Izzy's able to beat him. Just sort of, I'd say for Darren, it's all about getting that big win. His stock will go through the roof, and then if he can get a win over Dricus and turn around on the Usman versus Edwards 3 card, it would be an incredible year for Darren. I know he's on about 2023 being his comeback year, and I definitely want to believe it. I want to see Darren Till become champ one day, and I believe he can. I just think he needs to be more active. He needs to gain the trust and respect back of the fans. But if you look at the fight for Dricus, I believe Dricus is currently number 13 in the middleweight rankings. Darren's number 9. So, a win over Darren for Dricus puts him in a similar position. If he can get a dominant win over Darren or a finish, then he's only going to go up from there. I believe he's one of the only few South Africans fighting in the UFC. So, just globally having a guy like Dricus in the rankings, who's very charismatic, very charming. He's a great fighter to watch. He's a great fighter to listen to. He gives his heart inside and out of the octagon. Imagine a guy like Dricus on an African card in the UFC one day would be historic and incredible. And yeah, I'd say tough fight for both guys, but I'm really looking forward to the fight. Hopefully Darren can make it and he doesn't get injured. He don't, bruise his thumb or something. Hopefully he can make it to the fight healthy and just sort of get his groove back. And yeah, I'm really excited for this fight, and I hope you guys are too. Definitely stay tuned for more UFC content coming this week. I appreciate all the support on my recent videos. The views have been, really impressive, and it is really motivating. So yeah, stay tuned for more content. Stay blazed, and peace.